里头所强调这种你跨运动的交流，我们会看到过去芝加哥红袜更正一下，波士顿红袜，不好意思哦，我美国职棒没有那么熟。那当初波士顿红袜他在拿到了世界大赛冠军的时候，他们的球员也带着世界大赛的这个冠军杯到了波士顿塞尔提克队的球场，去为他们这个加油打气，无非就是希望说能够把这个城市的荣耀带给另外一个职业运动。是。那今天我
15, they've always been a good road team last several years under Stan Van Gundy. As we said, they're in the fourth, about 3.5 behind Miami. Nelson and Billups the matchup at the point. Brandon Bass, first shot won't go. Anthony the rebound. Knicks here at home, 19-15. Yeah, they've had some very good wins, but they've had some bad losses as well. Especially during the time since the trade. Stoudemire's first shot won't go. They've won games like in Miami, in Atlanta, in Memphis, but then they've lost twice to Indiana and twice to Cleveland. A very inconsistent squad right now. Nelson knocks down the three.
And if you're Jameer Nelson, you have to go at Chauncey Billups on these pick and rolls to score. If they're going to go under, you shoot the three. If they go over, drive the ball and get into the paint. The good barometer for Orlando is not how Howard plays. That's consistent. It's how Nelson plays.
Carmelo Anthony missed. Nelson played great the last time these two teams met. In fact, he had a season-high 26 points in the game. And that was back on March the 1st. Howard down low against Turiaf, flips it in with the left hand.
Well, he's much improved on the block. Feels so much more comfortable this year as opposed to last year. Those type of moves, hook shot, left hand, right hand. He's a different player.
Anthony gets it down low, stripped by Richardson. And Orlando comes the other way. The Magic, number 4 in the NBA in opponent's field goal percentage. Led by Dwight Howard, the two-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. And perhaps 3 consecutive. He's the favorite to win that award this year as well. Howard, that shot won't go that time. And Landry Fields grabs the board.
That's a good job by Turiaf, keeping him outside of the paint area, forcing him into a tough move.
Billups gets inside. Chauncey Billups also had a great game against the Magic back in March 1st. He had 30, but then he suffered that deep thigh bruise, and he'd missed 6 games after that and has not been the same since, trying to get back on track. Richardson gets it inside to Howard. Howard misfires. And Fields another rebound.
Good play by Jason Richardson to pass up a good shot to get a great shot for Howard.
Turkoglu will come the other way. You'll see a lot of three-point shooting. These two teams, the top 2 in makes and attempts. Orlando number 1, the Knicks number 2. And Turkoglu knocks down a 2-pointer. You know, so much made, Mark, as Stoudemire comes across at a foul. So much made about Amar'e Stoudemire and his role. Chauncey Billups is enormous in terms of what he has to do for this team.
Oh, he's big for them. When you're talking about having a presence, being an extension of the coach on the floor, running this basketball team and being a true quarterback, Chauncey Billups has got to be that guy. Veteran guy that's proven, and he's won before. They expect great leadership from him here.
And he's a great flopper. That was just a great flop against Bass right there to draw the first foul. And it's amazing how many times as Richardson doesn't catch that pass, he gets away with the same things, drawing fouls.
Billups finds Turiaf. Ronnie Turiaf, jump shot in and out. Knicks trying to up the tempo. One of the things Mike D'Antoni said during this stretch of 6 losses in 7 games, he feels they've slowed it down too much. Wants to pick the tempo up. Howard across the lane, the righty hook. And it's a 7-point lead for Orlando.
Now, if you want to push the basketball, one thing you have to do is you got to get stops. You get going in transition with stops, with steals, with rebounds, and then you're off to the races. So the first part is going to be defense.
Anthony, offensive foul, use that left arm to corral Turkoglu. And he'll pick up his first. See Anthony with that scar on his eye, receives 5 stitches on Monday night after a collision with Rondo. You saw that left arm.
That's a good call, but I don't think Chauncey Billups is that fast-paced point guard. You know, he's always been more of a half-court oriented point guard. Not that he can't run a break, he can, but he's not like a speed player.
So he was playing. I mean, Denver's the #1 scoring team in the NBA with him as the point guard. So it's not like they had a slow pace, right?
No, they don't play. But it's not like a blow it up the court type pace either.
And wow, a dive from Dwight Howard into the stands. And some nice memories. Everybody seems happy. Nobody seems hurt. Oh, my goodness. We've seen a few of these this year. Pretty scary guy this size coming at you. Nobody.
See, and I like that no Knicks fan tried to stop. That's home court advantage right there. I would expect nothing less from the Knicks.
Fortunately, nobody was in that seat as Landry Fields gets inside.
That's a better job offensively for the Knicks on that possession. A lot of man movement and ball movement, and Fields winds up with an open layup.
Turiaf trying to defend Howard. Turkoglu one dribble, lost it. Shot clock at 6. Turkoglu fires a long three. Howard the rebound, and he's hammered. And it's on the floor. They'll take it out of bounds, and we'll check in for the first time tonight with Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, so much has been said about whether or not Carmelo Anthony needs to change his game here in New York, and I asked him about that when he arrived here at the arena, and he said, of course I need to change my game a little bit, but it's going to take time. He says, I don't want to just change for no reason. I want to change in a way that's going to be best for this team and best for this system. He said, right now, I'm still trying to figure everything out. It's a new team, new teammates, new offense. I'm adjusting to everything. He says it's going to happen, and I'm cool with it. It's just going to take time. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Bass foul. Count it. Go to the line. All right, what do you guys think of that?
I'd like to make one media suggestion. Don't say it's going to take time anymore. Even though it is, there's no reason to say it. Just do your thing. And I don't think he has to change what he's done. This guy is one of the top 10 talents in the league. What he needs to do is defend, rebound, and pass. And if he holds the ball a little bit more than some players, it's because that's what he's good at. So when you traded for him, you knew what he's good at. I mean, this guy, people are trying to make it out like he can't win. He's already won. He's been to the Western Conference Finals against a great Laker team.
Now, because of his all-star status and his ability, and Donnie Walsh, when he acquired him, knows how dynamic he is, but don't you think he can tweak and adjust a little bit and move the ball a little bit more?
Sure he can. And guess what? So can Chauncey Billups. So can Stoudemire. So can Jared Jeffries. He can shoot a little bit better to make him harder to guard. Everyone just trying to lay this at the feet of Carmelo Anthony, I think, are being unfair.
Landry Fields hits a three-pointer. And Mark, you said at the top that the most important thing for him is at the other end of the floor.
Absolutely, and I can't agree with Coach Moore when he talks about there's no need for Carmelo Anthony to change his game. He's one of the top players in the world, and there's a reason why. Simply put, he's got to continue to do the same things he's done and then be a force on the defensive end where that becomes contagious, and they set a standard on the defensive end. But offensively, this guy has the package.
Offensive foul on Jared Jeffries. And we've seen Anthony in the past. That year they went to the conference finals. He was an excellent defender during that run. Conference finals and even that series against the Lakers.
But I will tell you this. You've got to set the standard as far as holding guys accountable on the defensive end. As a coach, if you don't hold people accountable, the players, history tells us, are going to take the easiest way out. So if I don't dictate to you that you've got to play defense, not just Carmelo Anthony, but an entire unit, they're not going to sell out on the defensive end.
And in conjunction with that, the best players have to play all out so their teammates follow along. But when Chauncey Billups has 8 turnovers in a game, what does that have to do with Carmelo Anthony?
Well, Billups will be the first one to tell you, since he came back from the injury, he has not played well.
Right, and when Tony Douglas shoots 1 for 12 in a game, what does that have to do with Carmelo Anthony? You can't put everything on one guy.
Anthony kicks it out. Billups fakes, sets, three-pointer. Too strong. And Howard and Nelson trying to fight for it. Nelson was out of bounds. It'll be Nick Ball. And we'll have a timeout.
And we see good offense by the Orlando Magic. Chauncey Billups, not on the body of Jameer Nelson, pays the price. Nelson got it going early. Magic up 8. And this guy, there's no way. Play for me.
No.
Come on, man. Not a
No,
shot.
I'll tell you what. I'd play him over him. He's shot.
No, I wouldn't.
He's like a horse.
I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Mari Stoudemire and the Knicks down by 8 just past the midway point of the first quarter. Stoudemire's got a new all-star teammate, Carmelo Anthony. They're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, Stoudemire, what's his message for his new teammate?
I think the most important thing for him now is just take a deep breath, because there's been so much over the past month. You know, he has to just take a deep breath and really just try to focus in on basketball. You know, obviously, you know, everybody's has, you know, some things to say, but it's really about him. It's about us as a team coming together and figuring it out. So take a deep breath, just relax. We're here for him. He knows it, and we're gonna get over the hump sooner or later.
Stoudemire's shot blocked, still Nick ball. And it has been a whirlwind. It's also been a crazy schedule in March. Now they're going to change the call and say it's Orlando's ball. But he's under scrutiny here in New York. And what happened when he first came that he started to get criticism about was that after a couple of games, he publicly second-guessed the coaching staff. He was also pretty upset one game when he didn't get the ball a number of times from a teammate. And then after a bad loss in Detroit, went out, didn't speak to the media. So there were a couple of things that got people a little annoyed from a team standpoint.
Well, the getting mad at a teammate, if you counted the number of times Patrick Ewing got mad at his teammates for not getting the ball, they'd be in the thousands. Okay, so let's eliminate that one. Questioning his coaches publicly, inexcusable. Walking out without answering questions, wrong. But this myth now that they traded from a great team got traded to Denver, is just that, a myth. They were 2 games over 500 when that trade happened. It wasn't like they traded a championship team. And I have as much problem with people sort of pointing the finger, like not other players, but like little snide comments where they're not also taking accountability for the struggles. Like it's all on him. I just disagree with that.
Tony Douglas able to knock it down. There's no question, and Donnie Walsh is the first one that'll say it, that this was a trade really made for the long term, for the future. They knew when they gave up so many players, and good solid players, but gave up so many players that they gutted the roster in a lot of ways, and now they're having trouble putting some of the pieces together.
But I think that that's an excuse also. The bottom line is you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're ahead of the Knicks in the playoff race. Which team is more talented? The New York Knicks are more talented. Those guys have bought in. They defend, they compete every single night, and they find themselves in a playoff hunt because of their energy and effort.
Well, there's no doubt they play harder, but I like this move by Mike D'Antoni to put Tony Douglas in to guard Jameer Nelson. And Chauncey Billups, his greatest strength defensively is his strength. It's not his lateral quickness anymore. I think this is a very workable backcourt, but I also like Landry Fields when he's on the floor. I think he's a hard guy to take out of the game.
Fields, the ultimate intangible player for this Knicks team, leads them in plus minus. The rookie from Stanford just does a lot of things. He brings so much energy. Meanwhile, Brandon Bass, 7 points right now to lead Orlando in scoring. Douglas left open, puts up the 3, puts it in. Tony Douglas leads the NBA.
About guys having an impact off the bench. I would say the last month he's been as good as anybody in the league when you talk about what he's done defensively and scoring for this Knicks basketball team.
Bass gets inside, blocked by Stoudemire, but he traveled first. Well, they call it 3 seconds.
Well, that's a good cut by Anthony that drags Nelson back to help. That really shouldn't be Nelson's help. That's Dwight Howard. He's playing a non-scorer in Jared Jeffries. He should be taking care of all those cuts. 2 times they've had cuts to the basket where there's been a little confusion.
So, Coach, you recognize it. That's what great players do for you. They create open shots.
Sean Williams back up. Anthony off the dribble. Drives on Howard. Excellent move from Carmelo Anthony.
But that's what you're talking about, Mike, with Anthony. Quicker decisions. Catch it and shoot it, catch it and drive it, or catch it and pass it. They're a quick decision to attack the closeout.
Shot clock at 8. Jameer Nelson, that's a three. Nelson had 23 of his season-high 26 in the second half against the Knicks in that game in March earlier. He's already got 3 threes. They're a tough team to beat when Nelson is playing like this. Anthony shot in and out.
And also, they're playing a defensive player on Howard, so Howard can just, he hasn't had to guard one possession yet.
And a 3-second violation, second one called on Dwight Howard. That's the third turnover for Orlando. Right now, if there's one problem that Stan Van Gundy wants to change, they are turning the ball over at an alarming rate, led by Howard.
Well, you can't say turnovers. Stan has eliminated that. He tried to correct it. Now he's not even talking about it. Either way, you have no chance being a high turnover team and winning big in the playoffs, especially when you, besides Howard, you're not a real overly talented team.
You saw 14.8, that's for the season, but it's been at 17 for the month of March.
And you know what people say, well, what's the difference? Well, here's the difference. Basically, every turnover is worth 1.2 points. So when you have 17 in a game, you're talking about 20 points you're just giving away.
Phillips for three. Knicks 3 of 5 from downtown.
And you make a good point about the Magic, because a lot of those turnovers are Jameer Nelson, Dwight Howard, Gilbert Arenas, guys that dominate the ball on the offensive end. They got to do a better job making decisions.
See Quentin Richardson in for Orlando. He had one of his better games this season against the Knicks back in March. Big fourth quarter plays. Howard takes his time, and an easy 2 for Howard.
And that's great patience by Howard. Using his back-end move, knowing they're not really coming to double, and then spinning off the contact against the very slight Jared Jeffries.
Bad pass stolen by Richardson. And Richardson throws it down, and you talked about Phillips, some of his struggles in the last week or so. He's been turning the ball over.
But see, I want Carmelo Anthony to go up and try to block that. I want to see, like, effort to try to make that, like, hustle play that can ignite a team.
Anthony to Douglas. Nice fake. Douglas sets, fires again. Tony Douglas off the bench with 8 points in 4 minutes. Knicks have hit 4 of 6 from downtown. Again, these are the two teams that like to shoot threes better than any other teams in the NBA. Bass lost it, gets it back, and barrels into Phillips. Yeah, we'll have a timeout with 1:28 remaining in the opening period.
Good defensive play by Quentin Richardson to play the passing lanes and then finish it off. And then on the previous possession, Howard, good job ducking in to catch it with depth. Uses his back-end dribble. So does this guy. He has something missing.
So does this guy, which we ain't dealing with.
No,
No, the one with this on.
well,
Okay.
no, I understand.
I guarantee.
All right, Kev, the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championships continues on ESPN Saturday. First at noon Eastern, Ohio State, Tennessee. Then at 2 Eastern, Oklahoma, Notre Dame. Division I Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One on ESPN Saturday. Brandon Bass already his 6th and 7th free throws of the first quarter. Here's a guy that last year didn't play a heck of a lot for the Magic. This year, Stan Van Gundy giving him time. He's improved his defense. He's just a good, solid player.
But they are tiny. You look at them, without Gortat, without Rashard Lewis, they are just a small, small team.
Marcin Gortat went to Phoenix in that trade. They brought Jason Richardson. Defensive 3 seconds called on Brandon Bass. 1 shot technical. Ryan Anderson's going to come in. Anderson also played well against the Knicks back on March 1st. And Anthony will shoot the technical free throw. First free throw of the quarter for the Knicks. They're in the top 10 in the league in getting to the line, mainly because of Anthony and Stoudemire. They're both in the top 10 in free throw attempts per game.
You see what the Magic are trying to do as the Knicks trying to post up and isolate Carmelo Anthony. Basically, Dwight Howard is zoning the area, not defending Jared Jeffries.
Anthony fakes, draws the foul, shot won't go. Good little head fake on Quentin Richardson. That's his second.
If you're Dwight Howard zoning the area, you just don't want to hang around. Try to find a way to get the ball out of the hands of Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony does a good job. Basically, that's still a one-on-one situation with Dwight Howard playing the baseline. Try to disrupt him and force him to get rid of the basketball.
Now, this has been one of Mike D'Antoni's dilemmas on who to play at center. Does he play Ronny Turiaf or Jared Jeffries, who are more defensive and really not offensive threats? Or does he put Stoudemire at center, start Sean Williams at a forward, and go with an offensive team?
Well, there's not a lot of great answers right now when you're going up against Howard, because if you put a defender, they can't make him play defense. And if you put Stoudemire, you risk early foul trouble. But you know what, Mike, you mentioned it a little bit more. It's not just a this year thing. You know, there's this idea that they were a championship caliber team. No, they weren't. This is something building for the future. So do they have to add size? Absolutely they have to add size.
Anthony, nice move to the basket. 7 points for Carmelo Anthony. Knicks within 5.
And the double team help is on the baseline. That's 2 times in a row. One by Richardson, one by Anderson, that they haven't done that.
Howard reposting. Shot clock at 8. Duhan, the former Knicks, drives, shot blocked. Ball knocked loose, and a good save by Sean Williams. Shot clock turned off as we wind down the first. Ball stolen by Richardson. That'll count if it goes. Not a bad attempt, but a little off, and that will end the first. Carmelo Anthony, 7 points. Meanwhile, Dwight Howard with 6 points, couple of rebounds. Magic shoot 53% from the field. Leading scorers, Brandon Bass and Jameer Nelson, each with 9. Magic by 3.
But after the first 6 minutes, once we went to our bench, we played awful.
Jameer Nelson, you've said before, when he has it going, that it makes it easier for everyone else in your team. 9 points in that first quarter. What was working for him?
Well, he shot the ball well, but he's also got to guard Tony Douglas. So I'm not real pleased with anybody right now.
All right, thank you, Stan. Mike?
Well, after they started, Lisa, the Knicks missing 5 of 6. They hit 8 of their last 11. Douglas comes up short that time. That's what Stan Van Gundy upset with. This Magic team, their success is built around their defense. It's one of the main reasons, if not the number one reason, they went to the finals a couple of years ago. But it has been inconsistent this season.
Well, they're very slow and small as Turkoglu makes a 3. And that's a very bad combination against the best teams if you want to defend well.
Again, though, you look as Roger Mason knocks down the 3. Mark, you look at the teams over the course of the year. Orlando's beaten every single one of the top teams at least once, so they've shown they're as good as some of these teams. And you still feel they have a chance to be in the thick of everything come playoff time.
Well, I certainly feel that they have a chance. When you talk about a superstar in Dwight Howard, they have knockdown shooters, so it's all about establishing a rhythm. They're more than capable of going on a run and winning in the Eastern Conference, but they're going to have to defend better and pay attention to detail.
Stoudemire with the defense there. Nice rejection. Tony Douglas looking for an opening. Fields off the dribble. Landry Fields. Knicks wanted a foul, but it's still going to be their ball. New 24.
And what I mean by pay attention to details, prior to that possession, the last 2 shots was a wide open jump shot from Tony Douglas and a wide open jump shot from Roger Mason. Those 2 guys, that's the way you have to play them. You can't give them open looks.
Duhan deflects it out of bounds. Anthony, as we said, he got stitches the other night against Boston. He wasn't the only one. Ray Allen got stitches. Very intense game on Monday night. Stoudemire drives, misses. Sean Williams tried by by Sean Bass. And you saw Stoudemire or Carmelo Anthony. Here's how it happened. Banging into Rajon Rondo. You see the blood.
And I don't think a guy should have to come out of the game late like that. Steve Nash, you know, that game was decided a couple years ago in the playoffs.
When they couldn't stop the bleeding.
Right. So what if he's bleeding? Clean it up. Let the guy play. Let Carmelo Anthony play that last 2 minutes.
Well, if you remember that game, it was against San Antonio. Greg Popovich, even though they kept stopping it because the blood was seeping through, remember Greg Popovich said, let him play. He kept saying, let him play. But the league now has the new medical rules about that. So
what medical thing would that have anything to do with? First it came out about, wasn't it initially about HIV and AIDS? But that's also been proven that that's not how you get it through cuts. So it's not like
Arenas misses. Well, they're just being extra careful.
I tell you what, if I was Tony Parker, I'd certainly tell the referees take him out the game.
I would too.
Duhan, shot blocked by Sean Williams. Douglas back to Mason. Field swings it to Sean Williams. That's a three. Won't go. And Turkoglu gets hammered as Douglas comes flying in. NBA League Pass now available for the lowest price of the season. To watch the race to the playoffs, log on to NBA.com/League Pass or call your local cable, satellite, or telco provider. Howard sitting. He doesn't sit all that much. 8 minutes. His team up by 2.
I think it's time for Stan to go Chamberlain with Howard. 48 minutes every night. I don't think they have a chance without that.
Arenas, that's a three. Both teams shooting well from downtown. Each of them 5 for 9 from three-point range.
I don't think Landry Fields needs help against Turkoglu in the post. Just let him guard it. Don't open that three-point shot up.
Shot clock at 4. Stoudemire looks up, sees it, puts up the jump shot. Won't go. Stoudemire now 0 for 5. He's scoreless and the Knicks only down by 5. They can take some solace in that. Arenas inside. Pass. Stoudemire got a piece of it. Deflects out Turkoglu for an open 3. And Douglas gets a running start. Mason on the run. Second three-pointer off the bench for Roger Mason Jr.
And he's a guy you got to give a lot of credit to. Was not in the rotation for Mike D'Antoni and this Knicks team. Was not in the rotation for Mike D'Antoni and this Knicks team. Worked his tail off, stayed ready, and when he had the opportunity, took advantage.
And it was the defense that led to offense that time.
Well, he's a knockdown shooter. Gets it in transition. Your job is to shoot the basketball. Mason knocking down shots.
From tonight, the regular season comes to an end. Arenas. Good help defense from Sean Williams. Well, you talk about small lineups now. Look at the Magic when Howard's not on the floor. Turkoglu is by far the tallest guy. Puts up the shot. Oh, he puts it in. Knicks defended that possession beautifully, and then Turkoglu able to knock it in.
I'll give the Knicks credit. The last couple of minutes, they've done a very good job on the defensive end, making the Magic team work.
Yeah, but look who out there having the car.
Makes it inside. Shot blocked. Bass with the rejection. Here comes Arenas. Stoudemire the rebound. Douglas looking, kicks it out. Good open look for Mason. Roger Mason not that time. Stoudemire back out. Up top to Fields. Fields sets for 3. That's off the mark. Douglas comes crashing in. His shot blocked. Stoudemire gets it. And able to complete the play. Tony Douglas hustle, getting the Knicks a second shot opportunity.
Tell you what, if you're Stan Van Gundy, you cannot be thrilled watching this unit play on the floor right now. Being outworked by the Knicks.
But Anderson comes right back. And now it's the Magic that are 6 of 11 from downtown.
Listen, their bench is substandard. When they're playing in the playoffs, Jameer Nelson has to play 44 minutes. Turkoglu has to play the whole way. And Redick, they have to get Redick back soon. because their bench is just not, it doesn't bring anything.
Turkoglu jump shot. Somebody got a piece of that one. Douglas pushing and brings it back out. Looking for Stoudemire, flips it up and in. Nice shot, Tony Douglas. He's the first player in double figures with 10.
He's played extremely well. A lot of people said he's not a point guard. Well, he's a scorer. Follow whatever he is and use it to the best of your ability as a team. He's done an outstanding job.
He was more of a scorer at Florida State, where he played his college ball. Nice offensive rebound for Anderson. Not that time.
That's just bad basketball. That's bad basketball. That's almost like I haven't got one in a while. Let me get one up.
Mason. Stoudemire poked away, but a foul called on Arenas. And we'll have a timeout with 5.5 remaining here in the second.
Great energy off the Knicks bench, and Tony Douglas coming in, knocking down shots, making plays, aggressive on the offensive end. Just a great read right here. Little teardrop floater, runner in traffic. New York, 17 points, 10 by Douglas.
Well, an NBA Rookie of the Year, and a couple of minutes ago, Mark received his Legends Award. Was scheduled to receive it a couple of weeks ago when the Knicks had a special Legends night here at the Garden, but because of the passing of your brother Troy, you were with your family, so they give you the award tonight, and a wonderful warm ovation from the Garden crowd. Mark?
Very touching moment. So many great times, so many great memories, and truly is an honor.
Turiaf inside. And your old buddy Patrick Ewing in the building as well, the assistant coach with the Magic.
Did he win a Legends Award?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He should have won the Legend Award.
By the way, he was working out before the game. Ball knocked away. Knicks come up with a turnover. He was feeding Brandon Bass passes in warm-ups, and Herb Williams, who's a Knicks assistant, as Phillips knocks it down. Herb Williams goes up to Patrick and he says, "Boy, you're doing something I never saw you do in this building. Pass the ball."
By design.
Meanwhile, the Knicks have their first lead that's quickly gone as the Magic go back up by 1.
I think Patrick Ewing was the original Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, he got sticky fingers blocking shots and rebounding too.
Wow.
And by the way, when are we gonna retire Bernard King's number here in New York? He's here tonight. How about tonight?
There he is, number 30. They were just showing highlights of his back-to-back 50-point games.
If you played him in a half-court game today and he only played offense, he could get 30 tonight. QB Brown used to call power right, put him on the right block. He's scoring against Anthony or Turkoglu.
Tell you what, as good a scoring small forward this league has ever seen. Put him on the block, put him in transition. He was big time.
Nice pass, Carmelo Anthony to Turiaf. And the Knicks back up by 1.
And those layups are coming because of the threat of the 3. Good plays, but they're just very little multiple effort defense.
Knicks defense after that start has picked up as a foul called on Nelson, his first.
Well, they run a pick and roll. Instead of picking up the roll man, Earl Clark is late. Nelson doesn't come down and protect in the lane. So they have to make a decision. You've got to take away the lane first and still get out to the three-point line. And if you have guys who are committed defenders, they'll do both.
Anthony's doing a good job finding his teammates. He's got 3 assists. Stoudemire forced it up. Earl Clark the rebound. Inside Clark. And Clark running the floor. Knicks only down 1 as Phillips sells that foul. Clark called for it. They're in the penalty.
Well, transition defense, everybody gets to Howard. And you know what? That's trotting. If you want to win, you will sprint back in transition and you will give of yourself. No one will notice that except your teammates and your coaches. This isn't even a hard break. See, that's a trot. You can try to explain it away. You can, but anybody watching, if you're watching that on film tomorrow, to me, you're saying that's a trot.
But what happened is you got to talk about that. Not just the coaching staff, but also the players. There's got to be a dialogue where that type of energy and effort is not accepted. And when you accept it, that's when you're inconsistent as far as winning and losing.
Clark up top. Turkoglu spots up, open three. Turkoglu knocks down another. He's got 10 points, and the Magic back up by 2. Orlando 7 of 12 from downtown. The Knicks 6 of 13. So both teams effective from long range. Fields to Turiaf. Anthony. That's good. That's the Knicks' 7th three-pointer. And Carmelo Anthony in double figures.
To me, that was outstanding offense and outstanding defense. I thought both teams did what they were supposed to. Give Anthony credit.
Give Howard credit down the other end. Howard now with 10 points with under 3 minutes remaining here in the second period. That's good. Another three-pointer. Chauncey Billups. He's got 12. Knicks are 8 of 15 mark.
And Billups does a great job of putting players on his hip and keeping them there so he gets wide open looks or creates contact.
Howard makes his move, gets inside, lays it in. He's just a different player offensively. There was talk, remember, first few years of saying, boy, he's not developing offensively. He has developed offensively this year.
There were times where he would make a move and you say that's a lucky move. He has made legitimate moves tonight and this entire year. Those are big-time post plays by Dwight Howard.
And you know what? Gilbert Arenas says Nelson airballs a three. Gilbert Arenas has had a really bad year and a very poor offensive year, but he is trying harder defensively tonight than I have seen in a long, long time.
And that will bring a smile to Stan Van Gundy's face.
And if he's able to hit all 5 in 30 seconds, he wins an additional $500
on the block tonight.
Howard, second in rebounding, second in blocks, second in field goal percentage. And he's also 10th in scoring. He has just been superb against Cleveland Monday night. How about his line? 28 points, 18 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 steals, 4 assists. As Anthony draws a foul. And that's where you look at what he does and the rest of his roster. Now, you see now 11th. He was actually tied for 10th before that. You look at what he does with his roster, where his team's at, and Derrick Rose, who is certainly the front runner for MVP, who's got better players around him. Dwight Howard deserves to be in the conversation. He deserves to be right there as a front runner for the MVP.
No question. I would have him second right now behind Rose, but you're absolutely right. If Dwight Howard wasn't on this team, this is Cleveland, New Jersey type of team. They're 20 wins or less.
Well, I agree with you, and Patrick Ewing should be his PR agent because before the game, he's selling Dwight Howard to us. The bottom line is, I said, I have him second also. That's not bad.
Yeah, we already bought.
Right.
We bought the stock. Go sell somebody who hasn't bought the stock.
Howard to Nelson. His shot will come up short. Minute and a half remaining. Knicks were down by 10 earlier. Now with a 2-point lead. Making a 5-point lead is Chauncey Billups with 15 first half points. And the Knicks are 9 of 17 from downtown.
But too many jogbacks in transition for the Magic where they've given up points because they're mismatched. You can get back. It's not a hard push. You can get back to your own man.
Howard, nice left hand again from Howard. He's got 14 points on 7 of 9 from the field.
Those type of shots, if you're Ronnie Turnoff, you're doing your job.
Nice feed. Billups to Stoudemire. There's the Chauncey Billups that was playing so well when the trade was first made, has not been the same since that injury, but he has had a great first half.
How about coming in? We thought that Chauncey Billups would have problems facing Jameer Nelson, but it's been the other way around.
Quentin Richardson fakes, drives, scoop layup, won't go. And it's Nick Ball. A 15-point turnaround here in the first half. Down 10. Now the Knicks up 5.
Well, watching this Magic bench, if I was J.J. Redick, I'd try to renegotiate.
J.J. Redick missing his 7th straight game with that lower abdominal pull.
I'd do surgery at halftime and get him out there. Are you kidding me? This is as bad a bench as there is in the league.
Anthony, tough shot, draws the foul. Quentin Richardson very upset, but he picks up his 3rd, and Anthony gets back to the free throw line where he's already 5 for 5.
Now, here's my problem. People will say he's got to give the ball up. He can't hold it this long. He's been effective, and he's had sticky hands and fingers this entire first half. The guy is a home run hitter. He's a flat-out scorer. Good things happen when you put the ball in his hands.
And that's a bad call right there. If we had a chance to see it, he said his hand. Richardson said his hands were down. His hands were up. That's what you call a bailout in this league.
That is good defense.
I mean, that's a poor call. That's a superstar call.
You don't think he's moving his body in underneath a little bit?
First of all, they don't see you moving your body, and they don't see Jeff with his hands up. So forget about doing that.
Hey, but I'm going to say this. That was a horrible call. But give me the NBA officials over some of those college guys. Some of those calls in those games are just mind-boggling. In the NCAA tournament, I mean mind-boggling.
It really goes to show you how good the NBA refs are. Final seconds here of the first half. Knicks up by 7. And the Knicks had a foul to give. Although I do think the college refs do a great job as well. I do believe that. It's kind of like in the NBA playoffs come. The calls all of a sudden become more magnified, and because it's such a more important game, you'll see that.
They've done a bad job. It's okay, Mike. They've done a bad job in college in this tournament thus far.
Jameer Nelson, a 3-pointer. Oh, he gets it to go at the buzzer from about 35 feet out. Another 3-pointer. The two teams combine for 17 for 31 from downtown. Well beyond the 3-point mark. And that's 4 3-pointers for Jameer Nelson. So the point guards, the leading scorers for both teams. Chauncey Billups had 15 for the Knicks, and he's with Lisa.
Defensively by the Knicks.
Orlando also knocking down threes. Well, when you have Dwight Howard in the middle, he tends to do that, giving you some good spacing outside to shoot.
Well, absolutely. Created openings with his post play and his post presence. If I'm Stan Van Gundy, I'm playing Dwight Howard the entire second half because it was the only quality offense that they found a way to get against this Knicks defense. Got him on the block, and he made proper decisions when he was defended one-on-one, took advantage of those matchups, was also unselfish when they decided to double team or when he felt pressure. But he had his way on the low block the entire first half.
So third quarter underway. Chauncey Billups, who had been struggling a bit since coming back from the thigh injury or quad injury, playing really well in that first half. Anthony, pretty move from Anthony. And that's what makes him such a dynamic scorer, in that he can score in so many different ways, Mark.
Well, in every way. Can put the ball on the floor, can shoot with range, can post up, can get it going in transition. In any way, the guy can score.
And gets to the free throw line. He was 7 for 7 from the line in that first half.
You know, that last drive by Anthony, though, Dwight Howard hasn't rebounded it and really hasn't defended like he's capable of so far in this half.
Turiev goes tumbling after he got fouled. Nice pick and roll with Billups.
Well, good hesitation, but no need to reach by Dwight Howard. Move your feet, keep your body in front of the ball, and it'll be a difficult shot.
Brandon Bass just picked up his 3rd, and Turiev to the line.
I thought Turiev got away with it because it looked like he was about to pass the ball into the corner. They called it in the act of shooting, sending him to the line for 2.
He may have. He tends to pass up open shots. not known for his offense, as we check in with Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, I was talking to Magic assistant Patrick Ewing about what happened to the Magic after getting off to that great start, up by 10 points early. And he said, you know what? We went to our bench and we got nothing. Absolutely no energy. On the other side of the floor, they went to their bench. Tony Douglas, 10 points right off the bat. And he said, you know what? For the second half, we need scoring from our bench, and we've just got to up the intensity level and the energy level. Mike?
Howard gets hammered. That'll up the intensity level as he got fouled as well, Lisa. And again, not that J.J. Redick's an all-star player, but when he's out there, he makes a huge difference for this team.
Well, think about it. 2 years ago, he still couldn't get consistent minutes. Now, without question, he's their best bench player. So he's improved, but their bench has also dropped back, way back. And that's what makes it critical. And plus, it's not just energy. As a coach, you can't say we're not talented enough. You know, because you just can't say that. You can't say we're just not good enough on the bench. You have to come with something like energy.
Knicks with a turnover. They hadn't turned it over the entire second quarter. And it's back to a three-point game. And Knicks have had stretches, even during this losing streak, where they played extremely well, only to struggle in the fourth quarter. Landry Fields called for travel. In fact, it was Friday night in Detroit. They had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost. On Monday night at home against Boston, they had that 9-point lead with 7.5 to go in the fourth and lost. And it's what you talked about earlier, Mark. It's sustaining it for the 48 minutes, especially on the defensive end.
One thing I really enjoyed playing for, obviously for Jeff, is down the stretch, he would encourage you to push the basketball even more. Don't slow the pace down. Don't try to execute people to death. Push the basketball and good things happen.
I always felt that it's important to run late as it is early. I think running late against set defenses, it's very difficult in the fourth quarter to get quality looks. But give Boston credit. We're talking about the Knicks collapse. How about giving Boston credit for what they did?
They were sensational on Monday night. It's like they turned on a switch and said, we are now going to take over this game. Anthony fires away. That's good. Carmelo Anthony, a three-pointer, his second of the game.
All right, so are his critics saying he should pass right there? You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just wait to see the result of the shot. Judge the shot before it goes up. I think a scorer like him has to play with freedom and can't overanalyze every attempt.
The thing I love about him, though, is he is not afraid of New York City. He's not afraid of the headlines. He's not afraid of the media. He comes out, plays aggressive, and he is going to be Carmelo Anthony.
But he's got to be that, like Mike mentioned this earlier, is that he's got to be that same way when it comes to taking responsibility after a game like in Detroit. You can't, on bad games, not answer questions. Not here.
3 minutes gone by in the third. Bass gets inside, stripped, and Anthony comes up with it. Part of what has made more angst for the Knicks fans back here in New York is Anthony drives, kicks it out, Fields out an open three, now takes it to the basket. Nice feed to Terry out for the finish. Part of the angst. Now your brother's going to call timeout as Knicks have their largest lead. But we'll get back to it and talking about what Anthony has heard from Denver since the trade. Right now, the Knicks playing well.
Oh, good unselfish play. Dribble penetration, creating the help, and then handing off. And it started with Carmelo Anthony making plays on the offensive end. You know the rules. Hand down, man down. You got to close that airspace or there's a price to pay.
ESPN's presentation of NBA
life for him, so it's a great opportunity for us to really provide hope and stability.
Here at Madison Square Garden, a lot of former Knicks. Allen Houston, and assistant general manager Donnie Walsh, the great Bernard King, who we spoke of earlier, sitting courtside. Clyde Frazier, broadcasting for MSG, and Earl the Pearl Monroe.
My guy, favorite player of all time, along with Magic Johnson. But as a kid, I wore number 15 because of Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Earl's been in a lot of Knicks games this year as Brandon Bass able to connect. Bass having a good offensive game. Now, what we started talking about before, Mark, is part of the thing Knicks fans have You don't want everything to happen so quickly. With the team struggling since the trade, 7-9 is the success that Denver has had. Denver's played extremely well since the trade. Anthony, that three-pointer won't go. And there's been some comments first from George Karl and even from some of the former teammates of Carmelo Anthony about how things have been easier and more fun to play when everybody shares the ball, etc.
And certainly Denver is having a very good season and playing solid basketball as the offensive foul called on Dwight Howard. But if I'm Mike D'Antoni, I'm making a statement towards George Karl, as George Karl made statements towards Carmelo Anthony and his ways when he was a Nugget. I'm going at George Karl, protecting my guy. At some point, enough is enough.
Well, Karl, while Anthony played for him, would say some of the same things. You know, a lot of people saying, well, why say it now? But George Karl did say some of those things. While Anthony played for him, was always trying to get him to be someone to pass a little bit more. But he also, Anthony had some spectacular years for him. As Turiaf's jump shot is good.
Like they won. He competed. He was a flat-out stud to close out ball games. The point is, why make those statements now? And I think if you're D'Antoni, you make statements to show Carmelo Anthony, you're my guy now, and it's ride or die with you.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It looked like it was last touched by Stoudemire, and it should be Orlando ball. But Anthony wanted to be here. It's the place he wanted to play. He was born in Brooklyn, and Anthony said he has faith that they will turn it around quickly. Richardson comes off the screen. That's his first field goal. He was 0 for 5 before that shot.
And Coach, I'm sure you would agree. You say, how do teams buckle? And you look at the last 3 minutes and say, that's how Boston won, or that's how Detroit won. It's situations like this where you got to make it tough on teams and don't allow them to hang around. That's how teams get back into ball games.
Well, it's a good point. You're up 8, you're playing really well, and then to leave a guy on a break wide open for a dunk, and an out-of-bounds play wide open for an open 3. That's how the game is tight. You know, Daryl Morey, the great GM of the Houston Rockets, said, you know how you play and win close games is avoid them. And that's what the good teams do. They don't play in that many close games because the high risk, high reward, walking that tightrope is very difficult. There's no guarantee in 1 or 2 possession games that you're going to win them.
Good defense that time from Anthony, but the Knicks have missed their last 3 from downtown. And the Magic have cut it to 3. Turkoglu on the drive. Tough pull-up shot won't go. Stoudemire the rebound. Stoudemire just 2 for 10 from the field. Yet the Knicks still lead by 3. Anthony lost it. Richardson wide open. Howard the rebound. Knocked away and stolen by Carmelo Anthony.
You're 3-on-1. You don't shoot a 3. You get a layup.
And Stoudemire foul on the entry pass.
And I say that's on Jameer Nelson. You don't give that ball up to the 3-point line. You've got Dwight Howard running the other lane. You throw it up. That's a layup. Tack the basket. See, to me, the 3-point shot is a great weapon in transition when the numbers are even. If there's 3 back or 4 back, that's a great shot. But when you have 1 back or 2 back, you got to think more, hey, layups, free throws, and then if you don't have it, get something from the perimeter.
No, or if your name is Reggie Miller or Ray Allen, then you can live with those type of shots.
Stoudemire's shooting struggles continue. Howard goes right at Jeffrey, spins, bank shot, no good, but a foul. And Howard will go to the line. He's only been there once tonight. He gets to the line more than anybody in the NBA, but has not been fouled often this evening. Our NBA calendar coming up Friday on NBA TV. New Orleans playing at Phoenix, 10 Eastern. ESPN Sunday night doubleheader. Portland at Oklahoma City. Dallas plays at Phoenix. TNT next Thursday, great doubleheader. Boston at San Antonio, Dallas at the Lakers, and ABC on Sunday. Phoenix playing at San Antonio. We'll be in LA for those new look Denver Nuggets. All right, now that we've got 3 weeks to go in the regular season, Lakers are playing unbelievable basketball, especially defensively since the All-Star break. Who can challenge them in the West in the playoffs? Anybody now starting to pique their interest?
Well, to me, they're clearly the best team in the Western Conference. I think there's teams that can beat them a couple of games in the series, but I don't think there's anybody that can beat them 4 games to advance. Lakers are just too deep, too talented, and too well coached.
Jeff?
I would agree with that. I think you have to give San Antonio their credit. Dallas has done a great job, but at the end of the day, I don't see anybody beating them 4 times.
Goaltending call on Howard. It gets Stan Van Gundy up. Did he get it before it hit the backboard? That's the key here. Well, he grabbed the rim.
I don't know. That's a hard call. That's where we need a new ball, the backboard to light up when the ball hits the backboard, so we know if it's goaltending or not.
Don't we have enough lights already?
I like lights. Christmas lights.
That's a 3. And the Magic have come back to tie the game here in the 3rd.
And that, to me, was much better spacing, bringing someone in front of Dwight Howard. So if they do give help, it's an easy pass for Howard. Good pass on target by Dwight.
Turkoglu, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Ball deflected out of bounds.
See, this is good spacing. Instead of staying up there, Turkoglu moves down, so it's an easy pass for Howard, and it's not through the active long arms of Carmelo Anthony.
Tony Douglas in for the Knicks. He was a real spark of the first half. Anthony trying to draw the foul. Coming up on 4 minutes left here in the 3rd. Knicks and Magic all tied up. Offensive foul. Stoudemire steps in and draws the charge.
See, you know what? And this is a little thing, but Carmelo Anthony is complaining to Derek Richardson about the non-call. To me, he should have been the first guy over to pick Stoudemire up, taking the charge. All 5 guys, if you want to build a defensive culture, recognize the sacrifices of guys putting their body on a line.
You know, Mark, Jeff's idea about the lights on the backboard, I think maybe we should start listening to him. He is, after all, our Emmy-nominated analyst.
2-time Emmy-nominated analyst. Hey, at the end of the day, respect.
Sean Williams hits a 3. Congratulations, buddy.
Well, I thank you, but I know my role in life. I am Billy Haynes. And you might ask, who the heck is Billy Haynes? He's a guy I played with in high school. So I did all this work as Dwight Howard. I didn't play with him in high school. But I broke the press, penetrated, got in the lane, and kicked it out to Billy Haynes, and he made open jump shots. That's my role here. I am Billy Haynes. You dribble drive, Mark sets me up, and I just make an occasional jump shot. I am Billy Haynes.
You buying this false modesty?
No, I think he gets back to his hotel room, looks in the mirror and say, I'm a bad man. I've been nominated for an Emmy.
You think so, as Dwight Howard? If we would have played with him, Billy Haynes would have been extinct.
Williams on the drive. Inside to Jeffries. Jeffries layup way off the mark. Jeffries tips again, but can't get it to go. 1-point Knick lead. Ryan Anderson.
I would like to see Ben Wallace and Jared Jeffries play one-on-one.
And no layups. Everything has to be out of the paint. Douglas can't hit. Jeffries the rebound and gets hit. That'll be the 14th foul. Yeah, we'll take a timeout. There he is. The man who set up, what was his name again?
Robbie Benson.
No, hey, that's the Golden Flyers. Oh, back tip. Pass it, pass it.
Wow.
Oh, George Evans, take it to the streets. Oh, my goodness, George Evans sighting.
Right now, the Knicks in 7th in the East, the Magic in 4th. And a 1-point Knick lead. Roger Mason. Gilbert Arenas back in, looking for Howard.
See, taking some contested threes in transition. I like what Gilbert Arenas did right there. Go to the big fella, single coverage, let him bring the game to a halt a little bit, keep the pace where you want it, and put their defense under pressure.
He's 10 of 13 from the field.
This is the best that I've seen him play on the low post as far as making moves. He's scoring without dunking the basketball.
Tony Douglas too strong. Nelson trying to push, dribble it off his foot, and almost saves it. Turkoglu gets it. Players just dive on him. It's going to be a jump ball. I say this every time. If the guy's on the floor with the ball, you can do anything to him. You can punch him as long as you grab the ball.
But right now, it should be a backcourt violation by the Orlando Magic.
Well, no, it shouldn't. They called timeout, and they didn't recognize the timeout.
That's why it should be. If they didn't recognize the timeout,
and that's
no
what it is, Mark.
It.
It's an 8-second violation. Instead of 10 seconds to get it across half court, it's now 8 seconds. By the way, you see the Nueva York uniforms. It's Noche Latina uniforms, part of Noche Latina program. The NBA has been going for about 5 years. They wear special uniforms during the month of March, celebrating the league's diversity and showing for the Hispanic community.
I don't understand why all the teams don't have it, though.
You probably want them to put lights on their uniforms. Right?
Douglas short, and then he fouls Howard.
These last couple possessions by Dwight Howard defensively have been with much more energy, as well as the whole Magic team has played a lot harder defensively in these last 4 or 5 minutes.
When you think about it, this was the Knicks lineup that really took control of this basketball game coming in off the bench in that first half.
After a high-scoring first half, a low-scoring third quarter. Ryan Anderson off the dribble. Goes inside. Offensive foul. As he goes into Jeffries, it looked like Jeffries was moving.
To me, that's a bad call. Jeffries clearly moving to get into position, and Ryan Anderson does a good job avoiding it. This is clearly a foul on Jeffries. Not planted.
See, it's not when it's as he gathers to go into the shooting motion is when the defensive position has to be established. And I think we're giving too much leeway to the help defenders.
Pass inside, Douglas. Oh, pretty feed. Carmelo Anthony with his 6th assist of the night. Nelson flips it up to Howard, and they wave that off. A foul on the pass.
But I'll give Jeffries this. He's willing to put his body in front of the ball.
Well, Mike D'Antoni likes him for his defensive versatility. He can guard smaller players with his length, guard bigger players sometimes with his quickness.
Part of the problem for me is he's too great of a liability on the offensive end. Right now, Dwight Howard is not even guarding him. Fortunately, Carmelo Anthony is making plays, but he's basically beating 2 guys.
That foul on Tony Douglas, his 4th. Nelson, 15 points tonight. And the Magic back up by 1. Orlando led by 10 in the first quarter. Knicks came back. They've led by as many as 8 here in the third quarter. And now it's Orlando with the lead. You see Howard able to keep close to Anthony. There converges. And Arenas goes into Mason.
But you know what? I'm going to say this again. Gilbert Arenas is giving a lot of effort defensively. He stopped the penetration. He ran Mason off his shot. Now, he made a mistake. Good help. He's trying to do the right thing. This is a mistake. But frankly, throughout most of the year, he's fought the whole notion of doing it the Magic way. You know, he hasn't given the defense. He hasn't taken care of the ball. He's tried to be more of a personality than he has been a player. And I like what I'm seeing tonight. Not necessarily offensive explosion, but just an attitude more of giving of himself to the team.
Not only an adjustment coming back from the severe knee surgeries, but just a different role that he's ever had since he's been in the NBA. Nelson fires away. That's good. Nelson with a 2-pointer. Shot clock turned off.
He's playing with a lot of confidence, making plays and looking to score the basketball.
Anthony against Turkoglu on the drive. Pull up. Short. Howard with the rebound. And that ends the third quarter. Knicks led by as many as 8 earlier in the period. As Carmelo Anthony with 21 points for the Knicks. But Dwight Howard on the Magic. Nice turnaround. Magic has, or Howard has 22. 1 point Orlando lead.
Dwight Howard 4 or 5 dribbles down low.
Now, recently you have been saying that guys haven't necessarily had a clear understanding of what you guys want to do late in games. As this game comes down to the wire, what page should everyone be on?
Well, hopefully we'll see it in the sense of we're moving the ball, we keep moving and keep moving guys around. We just can't get stagnant. That's what we've been doing. But you're going to win it on the defensive end. We got to tighten up.
All right, thank you, Coach. Mike?
Not very tight on that first possession as Richardson gets in on Orlando. Stoudemire's shot won't go. The Knicks, during this 3-game losing streak, they have struggled in the fourth quarter, in fourth quarter execution. Howard now, Stoudemire guarding him. Lost the ball.
And that's his problem, handling the ball as he's attacking.
He's got 5 turnovers tonight. Tony Douglas trying to get hot again. Inside Stoudemire, left hand misses, gets it back. And the Knicks will have it. Meanwhile, look at the last 3 games. 2 of them on the road at Detroit and at Milwaukee. In the Detroit game, they had an 11-point lead early in the fourth. In the Boston game, a 9-point lead with just over 7 to play.
You know, the first possession for the Magic, Sean Williams was defending Dwight Howard. Mike D'Antoni wanted him on him. Jason Richardson comes off curls. Second possession, because of the matchup problems in transition, Amari Stoudemire defending him and did a good job. That's what your lead players has got to do. Look over to the coach sometime and say, I got him. I want to shut him down. Let me guard him. And then demand.
And Stoudemire only has 1 foul, so it's not like he's in any kind of foul difficulty tonight. Douglas puts up a 3. That's good. Tony Douglas with another 3, and it's tied again.
So this young man can flat out score the basketball, can shoot with range, and he's a scorer. Understand what he is and then use him to your advantage.
Offensive foul, moving screen called. Although they call it on Arenas. Thought it was going to be on Howard, but Arenas called for a push off.
And they wanted to go back to the play they scored to start the quarter with the curl for Richardson. And again, having blown sets in the fourth quarter, it's very difficult to come back from that.
Douglas throws it off the leg of Clark. You see, Stan Van Gundy thought that Douglas was out of bounds.
Should have lights on that.
Stoudemire the drive, gets inside, blocked, but a foul. And Stoudemire, who's amongst the leaders in free throw attempts, will go to the line for the first time tonight. Clark, his second foul.
Really not enough credit has been given all game long for really Brandon Bass and the job that he's done defending Amari Stoudemire all night long, making life tough for him.
Stoudemire, 3rd in the NBA in scoring. He's 8th in blocks. And he's 9th in free throw attempts, but that was the first one. And again, you think, if you thought Stoudemire was going to shoot 2 for 13 from the field with only 5 points in the fourth quarter, you'd think the Knicks would be down by a lot. Instead, they're up by 1. Clinton Richardson and Jason Richardson both on the floor right now for Orlando with Earl Clark, Howard, and Arenas. Clark stripped by Stoudemire. Mason getting into the hands of Douglas.
3 straight turnovers, and I love the decision by Mike D'Antoni to double team Howard with the Magic bench in the game. Make those guys prove that they can score the ball.
Clark throws it off the foot of Fields. So the Magic will inbound. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth with Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, and Lisa Salters. Mike Breen on hand. As the Knicks trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, Magic trying to win their 4th in a row. Arenas, smart play as he ran into Stoudemire.
You know, he just doesn't have that burst that he used to have. And that's too bad, because when he was on those pick and rolls, if you didn't play it just right, he was by you to the rim and he could elevate. Now it's a game on the ground where he's trying to jump and create contact. It's a totally different type of game.
Arenas tonight, just 3 points. And he's had three major knee surgeries over a 17-month period. Prior to that, it was such a dynamic scorer. And acquired from Rashard Lewis from the Washington Wizards. Magic by 1.
You know, I'm not sure their best unit down the stretch of games is Stoudemire, Anthony, Fields, Billups, and Douglas. Even though it's small, I think that's a very hard unit to guard.
Jason Richardson spots up. That's a 3. And the largest lead of the second half for Orlando. They go up by 4.
Well, I agree with you. I just think you have to get guys buying in on the defensive end and do it by committee.
Turiaf and Fields played catch. Good help defense. And Turiaf lost it. Was it deflected? They say yes. It's still going to be Nick Ball. Neither official saw it. They're going to go to a third.
It was not deflected.
Nope. So it's going to be Orlando ball.
Good job in transition here as Gilbert Arenas forces the defense to collapse and then drops it off to Richardson. A wide open jump shot. Mike D'Antoni upset with the call, but it was the correct call.
Four-point Magic lead. Just over 3 minutes gone by in the fourth. Arenas pass deflected by Stoudemire. And we'll have a timeout. Early fourth at the Garden. Knicks trying to snap the losing streak.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Wednesday, brought to you by
All right, Kevin. It gets more interesting by the day. Carmelo Anthony right now on the bench for the Knicks, who are down by 4.
And that's a huge win for the Grizzlies.
You know, Kevin mentioned Tony Allen as Arenas lost the ball. Tony Allen has played great for Memphis.
It just shows you how a team has to fit together. You put a defender who sees himself in a certain light, not as an offensive player, but as a defender, you have a better chance to fit together.
Stoudemire. Boy, Stoudemire just can't buy a basket. 2 for 15. Howard running the floor, and he's fouled by Billups, who just returned to the game. Second foul on Billups.
Got to give the Magic credit. They've done a very good job of forcing Amari Stoudemire to being a jump shooter with contested hands and not allowing him to get to the foul line or to the rim.
By the way, that's Billups' third foul. 22 points, 10 rebounds for Dwight Howard, plus a block shot. Arenas leans in, and the lead is up to 6 now for Orlando. Knicks struggling offensively right now, just 1 of 6. As Anthony takes off the wrap on his right knee. A 7-0 run. Stoudemire inside. Excellent defense from the Magic.
And that's a very difficult non-call to make, but correctly officiated. The hands were straight up.
And Mike D'Antoni needs a timeout. A rough start to this period. 9 straight points by Orlando. And the Knicks fall behind by 8.
Dwight Howard's defensive energy is picked up. Does a good job guarding the first move and the second move, making it very hard on a very talented Amari Stoudemire.
An 11-4 start to the fourth quarter for the road team.
2 of 16. It has a lot to do with the Magic defense.
That's a Boschian type night.
What did he have? As they call her, Clark.
He was 1 for 18 in Chicago.
Right. Clark picks up his third foul.
And you know, Chris Bosh in that game in Chicago had really good shots.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't like he was taking shots out of his normal range or rhythm.
What's the record? Tim Hardaway has the record for most attempts without a make. Was it 0 for 17? I think he was.
It was an 0 for, I know that. In Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
Shot blocked again. Stoudemire right there. And that's a high percentage after a good defensive start.
That's a great play by Dwight Howard. His energy defensively is so much greater. And they have Sean Williams guarding Dwight Howard.
Billups is on Richardson. Richardson looking to post up. Nice move from Richardson using his height advantage.
And he does that so well when you put smaller guys on him, puts them on the block, and does not settle. Takes high percentage shots.
Carmelo Anthony has Quentin Richardson on him. Sean Williams a three. Puts it in. 5-point lead for Orlando.
That's a mistake by Earl Clark. You're guarding a shooter in the corner. Your job is not to help. Stay connected.
And both teams have shot very well from three-point range. Clark goes at Stoudemire. A little crossover move. Can't finish, though, and Billups coming the other way. Williams fakes, now drives. Billups right back to him. Williams, another three. Stoudemire, the rebound, and the putback with a foul. 92-88 with 6:20 to play.
Well, good effort by Stoudemire going to the board. I don't see the foul there, but good effort. You know, he's struggling, so he gets 2 straight baskets on the offensive board. Give him credit.
Please do me a favor. Do you hear the chants right now?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not for the MVP chant. Second of all, I'm not sure who that chant should be for. And this is inexcusable. If you want to win the game, giving up a free throw rebound like that to non-size.
Billups to Carmelo Anthony. Here comes Howard looking to double. Anthony kicks it out. Sean Williams inside Stoudemire. Stripped by Howard. Another strong defensive play from Dwight Howard. By the way, that one three-pointer for Sean Williams was not a three, it's a 2. Richardson, that's a 3. That won't go. Howard, the rebound, gets away from Sean Williams, and a jump ball.
And I like what Dwight Howard is doing. He looks at Turkoglu and says, get me the basketball. Sean Williams is defending me. I'm not complaining, but get me the basketball. And what you like here, go get it off the offensive boards, keep the possession alive. But if you're the Magic, make the adjustment. Get the big fella the ball. He's been making the right decisions, whether it be scoring for himself or being unselfish.
And I thought that was a good call right there, the jump ball call.
Howard easily wins the tip. Turkoglu sets, fires. Richardson, the offensive rebound, back up and in. And Jason Richardson, who was struggling early with his shots, he was 0 for 5. Finding the range as Billups draws a foul. Richardson has 9 points already here in the fourth quarter.
It's a bad shot by Turkoglu on the offensive end. A lot of time on the shot clock, but give Jason Richardson a lot of credit. Pursued the basketball, wanted it more than anybody else, and then gets the putback. Those are the type of plays that you can't live with.
Richardson can be such an X factor for this team. He's a guy capable of throwing up 30 on a given night. As Billups hits our NBA calendar. NBA TV on Friday. New Orleans playing at Phoenix. Doubleheader Sunday night on ESPN. Portland at Oklahoma City, Dallas and Phoenix. TNT on Thursday on the 31st. Boston at San Antonio, Lakers hosting Dallas. That's a huge game. And then ABC on April 3rd, Phoenix at San Antonio, Denver and Lakers.
You know, I have a question about these calendars. The games comes so quick. Are you supposed to remember them as a fan? You don't even, it's so fast, you don't have time to even jot it down on your calendar.
Should I slow down?
I don't know. Maybe we should run it on the crawl underneath.
Howard spinning, blocked from behind, and a foul called. And Amari Stoudemire picks up his third. Mike D'Antoni doesn't like the call because Mike Callahan called it from outside in the slot. but sometimes that official actually has the of a certain play. He hit him on the arm. There's no question. That's the right call.
Now, Jameer Nelson back in the game to close the deal, but I don't want to overlook the job that Gilbert Arenas did in this second half. Battling on the defensive end, made big shots, was very patient, outstanding minute, and a bright spot for the Orlando Magic tonight.
He had 6 points early in the fourth to turn around what was a 1-point lead up to 8. How about Orlando's free throw shooting? 14 of 15 from the line. Howard's 3 of 4. Not getting there, but he's hitting them.
You jinxed him. I believe in that, by the way.
I'm sure you do. Phillips, long three. That's not a great shot. Turkoglu the rebound.
That's not a good shot at all. In transition, quick. Those are the shots that he's known to make, but you miss them. Not a good shot. You got to be patient to make the Magic defend.
Turkoglu, nice fake to get rid of Anthony, then nails the three, and it's back up to 8 again.
And that's why I'm saying get Dwight Howard the basketball. It's not about him scoring. It's putting pressure on the defense, and you're getting open looks.
Tony Douglas, good aggressive move. Douglas with 17. Four and a half remaining.
You shouldn't have to look at your coach after that play. That ball's going back to Howard, and I'm going to space the floor properly.
There's Howard. Lost it, gets it back, and is fouled. So more free throws for Dwight Howard, who was just 1 of 2 moments ago.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Dwight Howard is playing outstanding on the low block. Tremendous patience. Defense, 3 guys on him. Your job is to make the right play. So he lulls them in, and then Turkoglu, patient, gets Carmelo in the air, wide open jump shot. Dwight Howard has taken over this basketball game on the offensive end with his decision making.
And when Turkoglu takes shots on balance, he's an outstanding shooter. It's when he tries to take those one-legged deep shots that he doesn't shoot a high percentage.
Well, he's had a terrific all-around game. 16 points, 11 boards, 4 assists. Last couple of games, he had 8 assists. He had 9 assists. He's also in the top 5 in the NBA in three-point shooting percentage in the fourth quarter. He hits almost 50% of his threes in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's by far their best passer.
Phillips again. That one won't go.
Yeah, that's just bad offense once again. And the Magic going down, getting contact, and going to the line. Quality offense on one end, bad offense on the other.
So 5 fouls now on Stoudemire, 4 of them here in this fourth quarter. And Phillips with a couple of perhaps ill-advised three-pointers.
You know what, though? Again, I don't think you can judge the shots as they're in the air. Or you have to judge them after they're in the air. Not if they go in or not. I had no problem. His defender fell down. He's a big-time three-point shooter. If you're not going to allow him to take that shot, then what shots do you want him to take?
Is that early in the shot clock?
That's what they believe in. You know, he believes in, Mike D'Antoni believes in creating the best, quickest shot you can. I think it's sound strategy.
I think you're crazy. I mean, you'll miss the big shot when you make that shot. When you miss it, you'll miss the lousy shot. That's not a good shot. And the difference is one team is executing, being patient, and one team is rushing.
Carmelo Anthony drives, and he draws the foul. So with 3:51 remaining, Knicks in a 9-point hole. Both teams in the penalty. And Anthony back to the line where he's 7 for 7 tonight.
And I think it's sound best play his hands and then play through him. And that time you got the ball in Carmelo Anthony. He drew the contact and he's going to the line. It's not about him scoring or him shooting. It's about making the right decisions.
Anthony now at 22. Again, the fourth quarter, Knicks offense was doing well in the first half, not as well in the third quarter. And in the fourth, where they've been struggling, the last 3 games, all losses, just 5 of 15 tonight.
But getting to the free throw line is such a critical component of fourth quarter offense.
Nelson looking. Nelson drives. Kicks it back out. Brandon Bass left wide open. All the time in the world. Can't hit. And Anthony the rebound.
That's a good offensive trip once again. Brandon Bass is more than capable of knocking that shot down.
Anthony's had a good game. 23.7 assists. Gets it to Stoudemire. And the lead is cut to 5. Make that 8 assists for Carmelo Anthony. That ties his season high.
I don't understand why the Magic just do not post up Dwight Howard against Sean Williams and play through him.
Howard across the lane and gets the bounce.
You know what? You're amazing. You ask for things and you get them.
Oh, I wanted an Emmy nomination and you got it.
Anthony back up top to Billups. Douglas fakes. Douglas drives. Blocked by Howard. Another rejection, his 3rd of the game. Turkoglu sets. That's a 3. Still plenty of time.
Oh, there's more than enough time. They're down 7 at home.
Anthony, nice pass. 9 assists for Carmelo Anthony, and Stoudemire the beneficiary.
And a great read by Stoudemire. Stan Van Gundy upset with Brandon Bass because he didn't rotate and help the helper as Dwight Howard double team, but Carmelo Anthony making the right decisions.
Nelson on the drive on Douglas. Kicks it out Bass. Turkoglu off the dribble. Pulls back, trying to draw a foul. Comes up short. Almost put in, and Bass gets the rebound on his foul. Richardson kept it alive. Knicks just couldn't secure the rebound. And great hustle from Jason Richardson. And free throws coming up for Orlando.
Dwight Howard dominating on the offensive end. Smaller guys defending him all night long. He's been extremely patient. Little jab step, gets to his spot, and gets the bounce.
Second game of our doubleheader, Spurs and Nuggets. Manu Ginobili and the Spurs looking to get a road win. That's our second game of our doubleheader. In basketball, but right now his team needs some stops. They're down 5 with under 2 to play.
But they're in fine shape. They just have to they're getting layups at the other end right now. Keep putting the ball in Carmelo Anthony's hands. They're soft doubling, which I might go to a more hard double.
Bass, the free throw, number that has hurt the Knicks during the course of the year in the rebounding department.
But these are things that Donnie Walsh can correct going forward. But it's nearly impossible to get talents like Stoudemire and Anthony.
And Donnie Walsh was saying earlier, he hates mid-season trade. Hates them because he realizes that how it turns a team around and how it takes a while. Anthony's jump shot won't go. Ripped down by Brandon Bass.
That's a great rebound by Bass coming from out of his area.
And this one's starting to slip away for the Knicks. Howard stripped and fouled. More free throws for Howard, who's 5 for 7 from the line tonight.
But this is the danger if you're Orlando. If you play through Howard, you have to accept at times the turnovers and the missed free throws. And that's difficult to play like that down the stretch of close games.
I agree. I think at times, though, as a coach, you got to make the proper decision. If he's rolling and he's shooting good from the free throw line, then you play through him. If not, then you go into your pick and roll game and try to get him slashing to the hoop.
Howard now 28-11. Rebounds, got a couple of assists, 3 block shots. This guy has just had a monster season.
You know what's amazing to me as we look around? People are beginning to leave the arena. This is still a ball game.
I agree. I never understood this. What are you, beating the traffic by 2 minutes?
Howard knocks down both free throws, and it's a 9-point lead again. 107-98.
And this is where Billups is great at drawing fouls on 3-point shots.
Anthony wants the ball. Knocked away by Bass off of Sean Williams, and it's Orlando ball. You know, we talk about Howard and what a great season he has, and he is certainly right up there for MVP, but he's had some help tonight and some boos from the Garden crowd as the Knicks are going to lose their 4th in a row.
Again, I think you don't want to go this early if you're Orlando. I think that's bad clock management right there. They threw the ball to Howard at 18. That ball should have gone to Howard at about 6 or 7 to run the clock all the way down.
That's where the advantage of having a true point guard comes into play. Jameer Nelson is a scoring point guard that's learned how to play the point. The difference is you want to pull that basketball out and throw it to Howard at the proper time.
Because you could have taken it down to around 50 seconds. And those seconds are vital, managing the clock late in the game.
Howard, meanwhile, shoots his free throws. He's 59% for the season, but he shoots much better in the 4th quarter. He's up to about 65% in the 4th quarter. And knocks down 2 more. 9 of 11 from the line for Howard. And this is the largest lead of the game for Orlando. Final minute. Knicks down 11. Billups trying to draw a foul. Sean Williams fires up a 3. That won't go. Anthony's tip misses, and a loose ball foul. It's going to go against the Magic, I believe, Turkoglu. So Anthony will go to the line. Let's send it over to Lisa Salters.
Hey, as we wind this one down, Mike, I just wanted to give you a style note from the Magic. Dwight Howard was telling me before the game that the Magic all voted to not shave from now through the end of their playoff run, however deep they get in the playoffs. Dwight said that he actually wanted the team to go bald, for everyone to shave their heads, but he was outvoted, and the team instead voted to not shave. So Dwight, even though he doesn't think that's going to be a good look for him, he says that they're going for a fear the beard playoff run.
Well, I think that should carry over to the coaches, too. I want to see Brendan Malone, Steve Clifford, Patrick Ewing, Bob Byer, and Stan Van Gundy in full beard regalia.
Well, this is a terrific win for Orlando. It's going to be their 4th straight win. And the defense in the second half, they gave up 59 points in the first half as Howard's fouled again. And only 40 in the second half. And Howard had a magnificent game, but he had help. Turkoglu with a double-double. Bass with 15. Nelson 19. Richardson came alive late. He had 12.
To me, Dwight Howard has had a very good offensive night, minus turnovers, but it was his defensive energy that picked up. He had 2 rebounds in the first half. He was allowing dribble penetration. He shut all of that off in the second half.
And 10 of 12 from the free throw line. As a team, 24 of 27. Meanwhile, the Knicks, with this loss, 4 in a row for Spike Lee's favorite team. And now 1-7 in their last 8 games. And since the acquisition of Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups and the rest, now just 7-10.
Well, Spike Lee was bragging to me about his mink hat. Asked me, did I want him to hook me up with one? I said, no, thank you.
You're better than that, Spike. Much better. Do the right thing.
So the crowd heading for the exits. A disappointing finish again for the Knicks. A disappointing 4th quarter. Billups' shot won't go. Fight for the rebound, Bass, and that'll do it. Knicks were only down 1 at the end of the 3rd period, but their 4th quarter a problem once again. And it's going to be back to the drawing board for the Knicks. Their next game will be Friday against Milwaukee. So there's your final score, 111-99. Knicks get outscored 32-21 in the 4th quarter. Carmelo Anthony, he had a solid game, a strong game, including a season-high 9 assists. Amari Stoudemire had a nightmare shooting game, just 6 of 20 from the field. And the Knicks had no answer for that man. No one's had any answer.